Class, this is the final degree that you'll have to take. The degree of common sense. I know you might have your master's degree, doctor's degree, maybe even your GED. But you need to tune in to the College of Common Sense for that final course.
Lady right in front of me is definitely none other than the spokesperson for Tamir Rice family, our very own Latanya Goldsby. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, as well as a co-founder for Black Lives Matter movement.
I just want to give kudos out to you, because from the time that Tamir Rice was murdered, you have been on the forefront of the spokesman for this family. You've represented very well. I remember how strong you were, and you had us in the cold marching on McGinty's house. I'll never forget that. And on and on and on in the cold at the Justice Center. When it make no difference if it was hot, cold, or stormy weather, you were there representing the Rice's family. And you've done a good job, and now you are also one of the leaders in the Black Lives Movement. Is that true?
Yes, one of the co-founders of the Cleveland chapter.
All right, and what does that entail?
Basically, it's, we organize for the liberation of our people. You know, there's so much oppression within our own community that we face daily, not just police officers killing us in the street. You know, we have economic issues that we're dealing with, the foreclosure rate, the school system in our community. It's terrible. So we're in the process of tackling all those issues that affect those that are most marginalized, which to us is our people, black folks.
So usually, normally, in many cases, that once families get some kind of satisfaction or non-satisfaction, or however you want to say it, usually they go away and disappear and don't come back. So that's why it's so impressive. By the way, you're beautiful too. You're making me nervous looking at me with those beautiful eyes. Excuse me, sir. I don't mean any harm. But the fact of the matter is, you didn't go from the start. You were there. And right today, now you've taken up co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement. So you're not going anywhere, and I just appreciate you so much. And you're going to keep us informed and on top of this issue no matter what, aren't you?
Yes, most definitely. It's ridiculous how things are taking place within this city. So yes, you're definitely going to be hearing a lot from myself, a lot from Black Lives Matter Cleveland, and definitely a lot from Miss Samaria Rice in regards to her son, Tamir.
All right, and as far as if people want to get in contact with you, Ms. Goldsby, as far as Black Lives Matter, do they go to a website or they call you? How do they do that? Because we want to build your movement, your co-founder of this movement. We want to build that into the strength of one of the biggest national movements in the whole country, right here in Cleveland with Black Lives Matter. How can they get in contact with you?
Yes, okay, we have an active Facebook page at Black Lives Matter Cleveland. You can hit us up on there. We actually respond to our messages, so you won't just be left in the cold thinking we don't answer. And also we have a Twitter page. It's BLM_216. You can reach out to us directly on Twitter as well.
All right, do we have anything coming up that we need to know about?
Just pay close attention. There is some things in the work. You should be looking for a press conference coming soon from Ms. Rice in regards to these statements of these officers, and we're building from there.
Yes. So we're the Rice family and you, Latanya, y'all ain't going away. Y'all is in for the long run.
Yes.
Y'all is in for justice, not only for the Rice family, but for all families.
Right. That's right.
And the movement.
Yes.
I appreciate that. We're gonna bring right in Brenda Birkenstaff. Did you have a question for Miss?
Well, the first incident you know about Lucarelli back in 2012.
All right, but millions don't. So speak into the microphone and tell. We got 7 minutes strong to bring it in hard.
Okay. In 2012, I was wrongfully indicted by an officer out of the 5th District. His name is Vincent Lucarelli, badge number 1654. November 11, 2015, my son had used my vehicle, and he's a security guard, licensed security guard, and he left his shotgun in my car, and I wasn't aware of that. And I got pulled over by an officer, Daniel J. McCandless, and I want you to remember this badge number, 644, because if he approached you, proceed with caution, have a recorder, or have your phone out. What happened was I called my son. My son came on the scene, told him that the shotgun was his, told him that he had the license for it, showed it to him. They ran the shotgun, came back to my son, and they took me to jail anyway. And they took me to jail because of the incident prior to this incident about Vincent Lucarelli. And I've been being harassed by the police ever since 2012. We went to trial. I thank God. I thank the judge.
Wait, before stop right there before you go any further.
Okay.
And because we're gonna wrap this.
Okay.
So in the first case, what was the result?
Oh, the case got dismissed against me. I went through the proper channels. My lawyer, Rufus Sims. We went through internal affairs. He was terminated.
Who was?
Vincent Lucarelli for 3 years. But then they brought him back.
Vincent Lucarelli is who?
Is the detective.
All right, come on, talk to me.
I'm sorry.
Then. All right.
The detective that wrongfully had me indicted. He was reinstated his job back after they knew what he had done in October of 2016.
All right, but in that initial case, you won and you got him dismissed.
For 3 years.
For 3 years. Okay, all right. Now.
But it should have been permanently.
All right, we with you on that. That's why we got Miss Goldsby and Black Lives Matter and all y'all in it. All right. So now you're driving down instantly going to work.
I know. I was going to the store. I was going to Family Dollar. I went to make a left, and I turned down here going to Empire, and I was pulled over by Officer McCandless.
All right. A shotgun was found in the car.
The shotgun was found in the car. My son had verified that he left it in the car after I called him.
He's a security guard.
For the state of Ohio.
All right, so he got a reason to have that.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead, and what happened?
Then I was arrested, and I was indicted for weapons under disability, tampering with evidence.
You was arrested. They put you in jail, a fine lady like you?
They put me in jail.
Okay, talk to me then.
They put me in jail. I was there for a day. I was indicted for weapons under disability, CCW, and tampering with evidence. And I took it to trial.
Okay.
And in the trial, I was vindicated. I won. My judge looked at all the evidence. My lawyer called him in a lot of lies. He tried to tell my lawyer he didn't know who I was. Then he turned around and said he ran my plate and I was a CCW holder. I've never had a CCW permit ever in life.
Yeah.
Okay. So then my lawyer said, well, I thought you said you didn't know her. Well, he said, but that's not what you just said. So he caught him in several lies. Then his partner got on the stand. Now this is on video, and said that I tried to run. So then my lawyer said, wait a minute, I'm not understanding this. Let me go through this again. So he put McCandless back on the stand. He said that my client tried to run away. He said, no. He said, but your partner said she did. The bottom line is, my lawyer said, when I was reaching to the back to get my recorder, because I knew who this officer was, it was my recorder that was in my hand. I wasn't trying to cover up nothing. So my lawyer showed them that in the video in court. He asked him, he said, what's that? He said, that's a phone. He said, well, what's that also in her hand? He said, it's an object. He said, that was a recorder. She was reaching back to get her recorder. I didn't have to cover up nothing because I don't have nothing to hide. The bottom line is they got plenty to hide. I don't have nothing to hide. Okay? And then my lawyer also got a copy of the grand jury transcript. In the transcript, my lawyer said, if my son would have testified and they would have interviewed my son, I would have never got indicted. Because they didn't even have no information in there about my son. They didn't even talk to my son. When my son was trying to tell them that he left it in the car, they didn't want to hear it.
So they just wanted to put you in jail
they just
and charge you.
And charge me.
So what is your message about? We got 2 minutes. What is your message?
This is the message that I have.
Yes.
As a community, we have to stand strong against the police. Yes. And I want to say this to all the young people. Do not fight against the police. You can't win that way. What you need to do is what I said at trial. They asked me, what do I keep in my car? I said, ink pens loaded with a lot of ink and a recorder so I can jam them dirty cops. And this is what you have to do, and this is what you have to do to deal with them. They killed my brother, and they trying to come after me, and it's not going to happen. When they ask me to take a plea, I say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the death. I'm not taking no plea because I wasn't guilty, and I'm not guilty, and I was found not guilty.
Yes, yes. So your message is clear. What do you think about that, Ms. Goldsby?
I agree. You know, at all times we need to always be vigilant when it comes to the police officers in our community and record them. Yes, record them. You know, they have the options to turn on and off their body cameras.
They
so
do.
you keep a camera on you and record them at all times.
Because they turned it off. They turned it off 2 or 3 times on my scene with my situation, and my attorney questioned that. Why was they cutting off the cameras? Why did they cut it off?
Yes.
And they just thought they was going to get away with it.
Exactly.
And I fought it for 2 years, and I was vindicated. Thank God for God, the judge, and my lawyer. Man with backbone, they can stand up to the system.
Yeah.
Because if you work with the system on the inside and you work for them on their payroll, you're going to be doing what they want you to do.
Yes.
They're going to control you. It's a control factor. It's a control factor.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a control factor.
Yes. Well, what'd you say,
I
Latanya?
said one hand washes the other. You know, they work together, so they have to have some type of accountability to each other.
Exactly.
Right.
Not
right.
the accountability
That's
to
what
the
that
public.
blue line is. Yeah.
Okay, now listen to this, Ms. Goldsby. They'll go out, the police will tell people, well, tell us when you see crime. But do they say that when they do crime with one another, with the blue wall?
Right.
The blue wall. They don't tell on each other.
No.
The blue wall.
The blue wall. The mighty blue wall. And I have law enforcement officers in my family.
Listen, you know, it's very interesting.
And they'll
What?
tell you that blue wall exists.
Exactly. Today.
What'd you say,
And
Latanya?
they'll tell you that blue wall, that blue line exists.
It does.
Yeah.
Today.
Go ahead.
Okay, my closing argument is people. We have to stand together. We have to neutralize and mobilize. This is the only way we're going to go up against the system and to be able to get what we need. These dirty cops, you cannot, I'm going to say this again, to young people, all people, when they pull you over, cooperate. What you do, put your thinking cap on. Pay attention to their badge number. Pay attention to certain things that they do so you can document it. Let me tell you something. An ink pen with loaded ink is a powerful sword. Remember, not a gun, not a knife, not a brick. An ink pen with a loaded ink is a powerful sword. And I want this to go out to all young people, especially because the young people, which are the black young men, are targeted by the police. And please, when you get pulled over, please cooperate. Trust me, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You think it's not, it is. My brother Craig Bickerstaff was gunned down by police, and I'm still standing, and I'm going to continue to stand by God's grace. And like I said, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because I know God is going to be with me. And I know that we're going to be able to do this, and we have to do it together.
Brenda, so you've talked about the young people. I can see your prejudice right now because I'm old. And I get pulled over by the police sometimes myself. What am I supposed to do, Brenda? Or you just want to address the young people?
Mr.
I know old people always pick a shaft. Go ahead.
No. I'm addressing it.
I know what you said, Brenda, but address me. Old man get pulled over.
Okay,
When
if you
I
get pulled over.
old woman get pulled over. What we do?
All right, if you get pulled over or an older woman get pulled over or an old woman, do the same thing.
Talk to me.
Pay attention. Look at the badge number. Watch everything they do. Document that in your brain so you can have your ink pen that's loaded up with ink so you can document this stuff. You got to document it. Because if you don't document it, Art, it didn't happen. You got to be able to document it. You have to deal with a giant step by step. You can't go at a giant head on because you're going to lose that way. You have to break them away piece by piece until they're dissolved.
I love that. Latanya.
Yes, I'm great. How are you? Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
No problem. One of the reasons I want to at least go back, we'll say the day before yesterday, and even though a lot of us didn't expect anything different, can you at least let people know what happened on Friday afternoon and your thoughts?
Are we talking about the video statements?
Yes.
On Friday afternoon, there was some video statements released in the Tamir Rice investigation that the officers had their Garrity statements actually videotaped. instead of written. They waived their right to a written statement, so they had those tapes videoed. And as requested by our attorneys, the videos were released on Friday, and showing that the officers' statements are just conflicting. It doesn't show the video, the statements doesn't support the video. The Garrity statements doesn't support the grand jury statements, which doesn't support the video. So it's just so many inconsistencies as to what really happened, so that's what we're here for. We're trying to find out what really happened that day.
All right, so was there a ruling made on those officers?
As of yet, we have no idea what the disciplinary actions are for those officers. We do know that the dispatcher was suspended for 8 days, which to me is totally unacceptable. But no, we don't know what the actual results of these officers' disciplinary actions will be. We have no idea yet.
Well, I might be mistaken, but I thought the initial findings were that they were not held accountable for driving into the provision or the other officer preliminarily was found that they did nothing wrong. Am I reading too much into this thus far, or what?
No,
Because
I guess I'm assuming that's what was in the critical incident reports.
Yes,
that was
yes.
released.
Right.
Yeah, those reports, I think were just created to
a joke.
Yeah, just
Okay.
created to kind of whitewash the situation of these officers that have actually lied in their grand jury testimonies and actually tampered with evidence. If you tell me, because your grand jury Garrity statement is an actual document, a government document. So if you lied in your Garrity statement about what happened that day, then you go in front of a grand jury and read a written statement that wasn't cross-examined. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand how this system in Cleveland operates.
Can I jump in real quick, Art?
Yes, you can.
On that Garrity statement?
Yes, you can. Speak right into the mic. Yeah.
First, again, I'm sorry about what happened to Tamir. But I want to explain to you about that Garrity statement. I went through that when an officer, Vincent Lucarelli, back in 2012, I was out investigating some cases to get someone out of jail. Mm-hmm. He wrongfully had me indicted because he was trying to sleep with the victim. And this is the same thing they used with him. He went through internal affairs. I went through internal affairs with my lawyer, did a statement against him. They did an interview with him. And it's called the Garrity statement. The Garrity statement is for them so they will not be criminally charged. And I think a lot of people don't understand what that Garrity statement is. It holds a lot of power. And what it does is stop them from being charged criminally. It's a protection, like a whitewash.
And also, you are the most fearless fighter when it comes to the Tamir Rice family, which is your family that I've ever seen. And I just love the way you is in the movement to stay, and just didn't get out because of an incident. Mm-hmm. So what is your closing arguments to the people as far as anything you might want to say?
My closing argument is to get involved. Get off your couch, get active. We need folks out here helping organize. We need folks out here to help with voter registration. We have an election going on where our mayor is up for election. City council leaders are up for election. Mm-hmm. We need some changes done in our city. Right. So get out and get involved. Come to a Black Lives Matter Cleveland meeting. Become a member. We need members. Come get involved. That's what I would encourage the folks in the community to do. Get involved.
Is the new form of mass incarceration.
Yes.
You hear what I said? Gangs are a new form of mass incarceration. Listen.
Yes.
This white man is tricky. Real tricky. Listen.
Crafty.
If he can't come through the front door, he will ease through the back door. Yes. Now wait, millions of listeners.
Yes.
Let me clarify this. I'm not talking about my millions of white listeners. I love you. You love me. I respect you, and you respect me. Listen, and you know what I call you listeners. I call y'all suburbanites. But I'm talking about the white system that will do almost anything to incarcerate black folks.
That's right.
Listen, what gets me is that black politicians, judges, and activists, who should know better for history,
Yes.
on the history side, they keep on doing the okie doke. In other words, what I'm saying is this. Listen, I'm not mad at them because maybe they don't know no better, or maybe they do. But they're misguiding the people. I'm gonna just give you one example, real quick. And listen, I love my brother Khalid Samad. I love him. I love his family. I love all about him. We always out in the field together. But we have, when it comes to gangs, we have different philosophies.
Right.
I believe that this whole mentality of gangs was created to incarcerate more black men. Just like drugs was created to incarcerate more black people. But sometimes you don't see the forest for the tree. And so even into the back door right now, gang in the community, that's a back door for mass incarceration. And listen, I know y'all don't listen to the professor right now, but 10 years from now, y'all will look up and say, wow, we got a whole new group of young men in the penitentiary doing 30, 40 years. What we fought to get for the drug epidemic, to get them off that, but all of a sudden so they ease back in the back door on us. And here's the problem. A lot of black activists and a lot of black people know that this is a form of mass incarceration, but because maybe for a grant or maybe for some money or maybe they just don't know, they go along with the program, get their little grant, get their little money, but in the fact of the problem is they are help creating mass incarceration. Listen, I know it's a little deep for you, but we'll go into it further as we go along. I'm not singling out anybody. I love everybody. And I'm surely not sending out my brother Khalid Samar because I love him. But he's on the other side of this gang issue. I from the beginning, I say you keep talking about gangs, you keep gangs. You're promoting them. Listen, let's don't do it that way. Let's do it the other way. Oh, it's a whole nother issue that we'll deal with. I'd like to see how I know Donna Walker Brown is listening to the program every Sunday. I'd like to see her face right now when I say Barbara Byrd Bennett. I can't believe it.
The former Cleveland and Chicago School District CEO, Barbara Byrd Bennett, who was sentenced the past Friday afternoon for agreeing to take bribes and kickbacks to steer more than $20 million worth of contracts from the Chicago public schools. Right.
But I just don't understand the top educator. Man, this black woman had it going on in Cleveland. I remember when she was in Cleveland, we got a chance to meet her. Oh man, when she came to Cleveland as the top educator, she was the pride of Cleveland to uplift Cleveland schools. Man, she went on to Chicago and now she's going to prison where Sam and Porter and all of them has been. They can guide her now on her stay in prison. But I just don't understand. To me, it's mind-boggling to me. Somebody maybe in the listening audience can tell me how much money this black woman needed. I mean, come on. She was making $1 million a year. Man, how much money? I just don't understand. It's mind-boggling to me, even for the professor. Here I am teaching the College of Common Sense on my salary, and I'm doing all right. I just don't understand. Somebody please help me understand what's going on. Who's on the phone line? Maybe they can help me understand. Your doctorate degree. But if you ain't got the degree of common sense, you can wound up just like Barbara Byrd Bennett. This woman had all kind of degrees. Man, can you look up and see how many degrees she had? I just can't get enough of this story. I bet you can't do it quick enough. Yes, sir. Talk to me.
We got a caller.
All right, who's on the line? Talk to me.
Marshawn Lattimore, he's on the same team again right now. That's the dude who got drafted from Glenville.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the dude you were talking about. Did Bennett get prosecuted? Or
she pleaded guilty, man.
Yes.
She pleaded guilty to.
Not prosecuted. Did she get sentenced?
No, she's got. She agreed to 4 years, but so it's a done deal. She's a criminal now. She's pleaded guilty. It's just a matter of them sentencing her. But under the federal guidelines, she's gonna have to do some time. It ain't no probation.
Did she roll on anybody?
I don't know, but she was crying, said how stupid she was. Common sense. That's what I try to tell you all the time, Todd. You with all your degrees. If I could but you're listening to the program, so you are beginning to get common sense, Todd, and I love that about you, Todd. No doubt about it.
You're a legend in your own mind, Art, for real, man. All right, I'll go back to listening.
All right, thank you, Todd. Yes, Todd has learned a lot of common sense. No doubt about it.